Hey guys, this is JD1. We're going to be doing some Scharnhorst gameplay today.
Gefechtsstation.
We're starting off with a couple battles in the Scharnhorst. I think this was our best one that we performed in. That was pretty exciting overall. We paired into a tier 5, tier 6 game, so we up-tiered this match. My division buddies were all running Scharnhorst, so we were kind of screwing around, but it actually turned out to be a very, very fun game. So as you can see, we're moving over to C. We got BafflingJm and iTzNyNeR on our team. Those are my division mates. We're ready to go and take over C and then push across to B. But since we saw Gnevry and he was kind of going over to B, we actually try to shoot the gap between where that destroyer is actually going by C on the inside of it, rather than going to C like personally with our whole fleet. So right now this is kind of like the boring gameplay right now, just kind of moving into position, getting into a spot where we can do some damage, see some enemies. So just kind of cautious to see if there's going to be some torpedoes heading our way, but we've made it around island cover, so we're pretty set. So we decide to go towards the side part of C, and this plays out to be very, very good for us. So we're starting to shoot the gap. JM is actually with our cruiser in C right now, just in case if another battleship on their team were to go over to that flank. Now, our first two salvos in AP are not the best. We have some decently good dispersion, but we aim it a little bit too far in front of the destroyer. He kind of slammed on the brakes. We weren't really paying too close attention to his smoke status. The smoke changed to indicate if we should shoot more at him or lead him more. We do kind of the same mistake here, but he turns, so we can't hit him with the majority of our rounds. We do hit him with one. Any round damage, so we're just trying to inflict as much damage as we can to help out our destroyer. We get a good salvo here, and we almost clean him up. He's on a fire, secondaries open up. See if Hans can take him down. You get his secondary hits, he actually dies from fire. So we noticed that there was a Jervis literally right behind him, so we kind of have to push this gap pretty hard. We think that there's going to be torpedoes coming. Our cruiser and our other Scharnhorst want to actually push through the center of C since they just capped it without literally any resistance. I wish our destroyer would have came through that gap as well, because now he's kind of out of the fight for a little bit. So we lobbed some rounds over the California and just noticed that the Jervis popped up. But since we're running an ability that allows us to get a fast reload, it's not catastrophic for us. Now we think that he fired torpedoes right there, or at least I did. I just threw another round of the California since nothing was spotted. Waiting for this reload. We actually have a very, very quick reload in Scharnhorst, that's why I love this ship so much. So quick reloads. Now we notice that he popped a smoke here, so instead of us going broadside onto the smoke, we're going to actually push it a little bit. We're assuming that since we have 4 ships, or at least 3 ships behind us, 4 including the destroyer to our left, we can take him out pretty easily. We spot him, we half health in here, or at least did some decent damage. Notice that there's going to be some take a torpedo there, take another one there. We eat torpedoes for breakfast, so that does no damage to us. We just heal that back, pop a damage con, take out the flooding. Now we have our whole force literally chasing this California. Now, I would personally say I don't like chasing ships, it's basically pointless. You're pulling yourself out of the battle. But since he's kind of going towards his team, we can do that. We get really good dispersion on that one, just moving a little bit too far to the backside of his ship. All of our secondaries are opening up on both of our Scharnhorsts right now. We are running a secondary gun battery build. We only have them at 7.3 kilometer secondary batteries, but that's pretty decent for a tier 6 battleship. They let rounds out pretty fast. We have the secondary build to increase secondary battery reload time and dispersion on that. So, and fire rate. So, we should be able to make quick work of this guy. See, we're picking up small amounts of damage with our secondaries. We chunk them here pretty hefty. 7,300 damage, we'll take that. And the Pensacola ends up stealing our kill, or taking our kill. I wish one of our division mates would have gotten it, but he's dead. Ship off the board. Next target. It's a pretty even battle right now. They have the cap. Now our other Scharnhorst pushed into B, which is a good move because it contests the cap. They can't get points from that, and there's a cruiser in there which he can take care of pretty easily. Now, a great skill that I have in this commander is will to rebuild. Yeah, I'm not using the passive effect right now because there's no need to. But when you're taking heavy amounts of damage and you have a 3 kilometer, or I think it's either 3 or 3.5 kilometer passive heal, it's it's good to have. Now you can see that Flint, yeah, absolutely smashed. Rounds going with the iTzNyNeR right now. That was absolutely horrific. Let's not take a peek at that German dispersion. Buddy actually hit him pretty well with the AP salvo. We're gonna guess on where he's at in his last position, and we're gonna come up unlucky here. Now that destroyer is going to be the major problem in this 400. Our destroyer literally doesn't do too much other than stay behind us the whole time. Me and the Scharnhorst. Now we're trying as much as we can to spot him and shoot at him, but he keeps on popping in and out of detection range. And our Pensacola doesn't want to go and push him, and neither does our kid, who can easily outdone him. Our kid's trying to open up fire on the Iowa. He's doing good damage right there, but it's not hard to take out the Iowa when he's broadsiding at that range. Low caliber guns can pen very easily on a broadsiding tier 5 ship. Now that CNUP has very good AP penetration rounds with low velocity, or with high velocity. So he can basically aim for our superstructure at any point in time and do high penetration damage. He will overpen, and then it will pen through the deck armor. See, we kind of gave him a broadside there. We have 4 heals, so it's not terribly costly for us. We're gonna rip this iTzNyNeR to shreds with our secondary gun battery ability. Now we're gonna flip over, since we fired our right side torpedoes. Since he's moving from us right to left, we want to pop our 1 torpedo salvo to throw then another one to maximize the amount of torpedoes, but he actually dies, and then there goes baffling with the iTzNyNeR, and I'm telling our destroyer to push up into that gap. I'm talking to my crewmates over Xbox, and I'm requesting support from the destroyer, because the only thing he has to do is take out the other destroyer and we win the game. But we try to cut off the CNUP. We have 36,000 hit points, but you're going to see very quickly that a CNUP can go through that pretty easily. Destroyer ends up spotting him. He's sitting still, and we absolutely crush him here. So that's our 3rd kill. Pushing the gap for the CNUP. Now we're going to try to do a couple tactics of baiting him into a turn, but he actually does very, very well. This is a good scene-up player. It's very rare that you find an actual good battleship player that knows his ship well. We're going to eat a torpedo here, but again, we eat those for breakfast, so... Most of the damage on that, pop the heel. Now, we know that's a 12k torpedo, but he hit us on the belt, so it's some reduction on the damage there. Now, he notices that we're going to be able to go through him here pretty easily if he does not turn. So he starts turning to the left very, very hard, which will make the angle of penetration super difficult. You're going to find out right here. Since we have a fast reload, I know that I'm going to try to shoot for the belt, and it's just ricochets. He's good armor there. Should have aimed more for the superstructure, but it's kind of hard to hit Russian superstructure, especially in the scene-up, where there's basically no superstructure except for 2 conning towers. We're going to aim for the front gun. He's turning again, so I think we should be able to get some decent pen. You can see he just took off a good amount of health. Just with his turrets alone. His secondaries aren't doing too bad either. See, now we're going to bait him into the turn, because he's thinking that we're going to throw some torps here since we're giving him the angle. Now I'm going to throw him there, thinking that he's going to continue his left turn. I kind of let it a little bit too far to the left. He readjusts his turn at the last second, and he's going to start slamming it to the right. His back gun almost did 10k of damage right there. He did at least 2 bars worth of damage just with the back gun alone. We're going to try to disable it. We shoot a little bit further to the right, do some damage to the conning tower, and you're going to find out what penetrating through the superstructure can really do. And it absolutely deletes me through the front of my ship, which we think is fine since we're winning. This should be an easy kill. The kid should have at least hit him with 1 torpedo. Cena wasn't even focusing him, so he could have literally ran up on him. So we're gonna find out if our kid can get the kill. We were screaming at this guy through the party chat, and me and my division mates trying to cheer this guy on. And it's gonna go down to the wire. We're thinking that he's gonna get smashed here with the back gun. He's gonna load it HE, hit him hard. He shanks it. He's gonna start throwing in HE and trying to smash him, but the kid has very, very good fire rate. He's doing no damage. You can see that it's not doing anything. Sets a fire instantly and the damage comes that. He's barely on a tap, literally 1 HE round. He's aiming for the superstructure, and he gets him. So that's going to be our gameplay for the Scharnhorst. You can see we did a very, very good